Now, the first 6 days of this year's Tour had produced 4 different yellow jerseys. The last of them when Stefan Schumacher joined the long and slightly tattered tradition of race leaders who'd crashed while wearing it. Kim Kirken set off from Brioude on stage 7, hoping to reach Aurillac without adding any tarmac streaks. In fact, it's 4 tours in a row now that the race leader has crashed, starting with David Zabriskie in 2005, who slid off the back of CSE's time trial formation and out of the race lead. Thor Hushovd suffered at the giant green hand of fate in 2006 when a fan waving a piece of promotional cardboard cut him across the arm on the run into the finish of stage 1. And last year, Fabian Cancellara came down in a crash at Ghent on stage 2, eventually rolling over the line nursing a shoulder injury. And they're just the most recent race lead casualties. In 1998, Chris Boardman celebrated a famous prologue win in Dublin, but like many visitors to Dublin, failed to make the ferry back after touching wheels with another rider and hitting a wall on the way down. In 1991, Rolf Sorensen scored a unique double. First, he crashed to take the yellow jersey when Ari Osteja went down in formation during the team time trial, but still won the stage. Then crashed out of it again 3 stages later, although having neglected to pack a change of clothes, he was obliged to wear it in hospital. For tragicomedy, though, no one comes close to the leader of the 1951 Tour, the crying Dutchman Wim van Est. In fact, for a while after he went over the side of the Col d'Aubisque, no one could get close enough to him to pull him back up. In the end, his teammates made a rope out of all their spare inner tubes, and since they were stretched to uselessness in the rescue operation, the whole team had to abandon. Well, we're over the 1,000-kilometre mark now in the Tour, and after today's 159 from Brioude to Aurillac, we'll be exactly a third of the way round. It is a flat finish, but a tough day for the sprinters to survive that long and stay in touch. Alejandro Valverde's teammate Luis Leon Sanchez made an impressive breakaway from a breakaway to cross the line alone at
Aurillac. 3 official kilometres to go to the finish as he swings around the town square.
We are crossing the centre of Aurillac now at 3 kilometres from the finish. Luis Leon Sanchez has gone for gold, not from the leading group, but he's been all day. He's been caught by the bunch and he's gone away again.
Well, they're trying to pull him back, and you can see Liquigas all over the front end of this field now, and they're trying to set it up for their man Pipo Pozzato, who took the race Bible a week before the start of this race and said to himself, I want to win here, I want to win in Aurillac, and he's done that in the past before, and he has come up with the goods. But this man may well be there to spoil the party. He's been in the breakaway for the majority of the day this afternoon, admittedly not doing a bulk of the pacemaking, but he's now got the ability to win himself his stage.
He is the national time trialling champion of his country for just over 2 weeks now, and this is his forte, riding alone against the watch. Well, he's now riding alone against all of the stars of this year's Tour de France, and they are still after him, but that gap is a very, very good gap. The big situation for his downfall, Paul, is the finishing straight is long, 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 and you can see the banner for well over a kilometre.
Yes, but if they don't get themselves organised, they're not going to drag this man back into the fold, because he's not the kind of rider who will crack. He's not the kind of rider who's got any weakness in an effort like this, and all he has to do is keep riding this constant tempo. A few more corners to go and he'll start to line himself up for the finishing straight. Liquigas, if they want to win this, Pipo Pozzato need to get their other man up there as well, and I think Kreuziger is in the group with Pipo Pozzato, so Liquigas, it's all up to them now if they want to win the stage.
It's 23 years since Aurillac gave home to the Tour de France at the end of the stage. Today, they're looking at a Spanish rider aim for the finish. The whole of the Case de Pont team behind will try to break up the chase.
Well, 23 years ago, the nationality of the rider who won here was Spanish as well, Eduardo Chozas, and that was at the end of a very long break. Now you can see there the 2 riders from Liquigas, they are sacrificing themselves for their team leader, who is just down there. That is Pipo Pozzato. He's waiting to see if he's going to get the victory or not, and I reckon if Sanchez does get anywhere near being caught, Alejandro Valverde will come out and look for the win. But 1 kilometre to go for the lone leader.
And in the far, far distance, there's not another corner in sight now, is the finishing line of today's stage of the Tour de France. He just has to sit there, ride it as if he's riding the national time trial title of Spain, like he was when he won it 2 weeks ago, and it just might come his way.
Well, he's got the concentration, he's got a big gap over the front end of the main field, and he's looked over to try and judge how much effort he has to put in, and he's just kicked that little bit more. He's looking for the 500-metre to go banner now, and I reckon, Phil, he's got himself around about 12 to 13 seconds advantage. It's going to be very difficult to pull back a man like this.
Well, this is his third Tour de France. He's never looked like winning a stage before. He didn't even finish the last time he rode in 2006. But is this going to be his greatest moment? Boy, it's hurting out there now. He's got the Tour de France behind him, but they're struggling. They are closing, but I don't think they're going to catch him.
They will not catch this man here this afternoon because he is a great individual time trialist. He's up to 200 metres to go. They're really doing everything to try and pull him back into the fold, but I don't think they'll do it this afternoon.
It's all over. Time doesn't matter to this man. It's the win he wanted. Let's give Luis Leon Sanchez his worth. That was a great win today.
What none of us knew then, though, was that a small incendiary device that had been placed under the tour back on stage 1 was about to go off. This is Manuel Beltran being escorted to doping control on opening day back in Plumelec, and here he is being arrested by the French police after his positive result for EPO was released on Friday evening. He was out of the race, out of a job and in custody. His team Liquigas, to the surprise of many people, was still in the race.
Will Liquigas continue on the tour?
Oui. Il va continuer dans le tour.
On va continuer.
Oui.
Et c'est quoi la situation avec Beltran maintenant?
Maintenant, il est suspendu et il va dehors de les tours. Et on attend les contre-expertises de l'analyse pour savoir s'il est vraiment positif ou non. Et s'il est positif, il est licencié pour l'équipe.
It was a bad end to a good week for the Tour, but the general feeling as the riders rolled out of Figeac the next morning seemed to be that A, at least the new targeted testing was working, and B, that at the age of 37, Beltran was a representative of an era that had largely passed.